Hey guys, it's Joe, and this is Pikket with Joe. It is Friday. Thank God it's Friday, you guys. It is December 16th. The countdown to Christmas is on. If you're like me, you are nowhere near prepared. It's going to be a long weekend at those malls. If you're getting out, I'm still not going to go out this weekend. Monday is the day for me. So Monday's show, I'll Pikket with Joe, might be recorded just to give you guys a heads up as I try to venture out and hit these malls. But we got 3 games on the board today. We're going to talk all 3 of these. Yesterday was just a weird day I saw a lot of these games just not right. Really thought Dallas and Winnipeg were going to be able to cover that puck line. Not able to get it done, but let's break down these 3 games today. Let's make some freaking money. If you missed my last show, go back and check it out. I had on the Joe Madden Sports Show, Van Falk of V's and the digital content creator over there, of the VP of the digital content, breaking down his top 5 memorable moments in the sports betting industry in 2022. I tell you, we've had some great ones, you guys, and some of these underdogs that we've won on the ice have been great moments for us. That was my biggest takeaway in the NHL so far this season. Is looking for those dogs in situations where they're able to pull off a fantastic upset. Now on the ice tonight, not sure if these big dogs like the Chicago Blackhawks and the Coyotes will be able to get it done. Hard for either of these teams to be able to do something tonight. I've got some great trends for you, why you should take the Islanders. So we're going to jump into that. That is the last game of the night. We're going to start here with the Chicago Blackhawks and the Minnesota Wild. Firstly, I want to say a big hi to all of you here tonight or here today. It's only 1:30 my time, 3:30 Eastern, you guys. Shout out to all of you. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's get this show rolling. Okay, here we go. The first game, the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Minnesota Wild. So this one kicks off at 8 o'clock Eastern, you guys. Chicago Blackhawks coming in here as large dogs at plus 330. Minnesota Wild minus 430. Total sitting solid at 6. Now, if you're like me and believe Chicago will be able to get something done, this team is not giving up. They're not laying flat. Now, I really did expect them to keep it tighter versus Vegas last night. They've lost their last 5 in a row. That was a 4-1 win versus Vegas. I was super disappointed in what we saw out of the Blackhawks. I think they can get a couple of goals in this one. And because I think they're going to be able to get at least 1 or 2, I'm going to look at this total. I'm going to push it over that 6 because we know the Minnesota Wild are coming out here. They're completely dominating offensively on teams like the Blackhawks who are struggling. They're averaging that 3.07 goals per game and 31.6 shots on goal. Their defense, yes, is playing strong, but I think this could be one of the situations where they're up that nice big win 4-1 over the Red Wings. They come into this and kind of overlook the Chicago Blackhawks here in this one, looking just for that easy win on a Friday night. Something about Friday nights and these underdogs have been connecting for us. I don't think Chicago's going to pull off the win here. And if they do, hats off to them. I'm not going to sprinkle any money on it. But I am going to look at this over 6 because I do think they will get some points on the board. Now, Soderblom stopped 21 of 24 shots in that last game versus Vegas. So goaltending-wise, this team is solid, but Moret's expected here in goal. He's got a 4.37 goals against average. The Wild are going to be able to get these goals on him. Now, the last time these 2 teams played was in October. We saw a 4-3 win for the Minnesota Wild. So the Blackhawks did keep this one tight. Now, when we look at road teams on the puck line coming off a loss in the last 30 days, they've gone 58 and 32, which is hitting 64.5% of the time. We've also seen the underdog coming off a loss, which the Blackhawks are in that situation on that puck line in the last 30 days have gone 68 and 38 on that puck line, which is 64.15%. I think there is a good reason here to take the Chicago Blackhawks on that puck line at +1.5. Actually, you can get them +2.5 now. Just let me check what those odds were on that +2.5. +2.5, yeah, it is a little juiced at -152. But I can see reasoning why you'd want to take the Blackhawks in this situation. Just these puck lines in this situation have been the trend over the last 30 days. So I would caution you, if you like the Wild, on taking them on that -2.5 on that puck line. I think it's going to be a harder game than the Wild expect. I think this is a situation where they overlook the Chicago Blackhawks, who are on the back-to-back, and they have been struggling. They've lost their last 6 in the second game of a back-to-back. So, while I think this is tight, I don't think the Blackhawks get the win. Yeah, Bruins couldn't even pull off the win. Finally, Friday, the Wild in 60. Yeah, I can see the Wild in 60 for sure. Getting things done. I just think the Blackhawks will play a scrappy one in this one. Just eager to break this losing streak that they are on. Can never underestimate a dog, especially on a Friday night. Saturdays, kind of we see less, not less effort, but less upsets on a Saturday than we do on a Friday. Something is weird about Fridays in the NHL for sure. And the next game on the board. Oh, and then we've got totally, I'll tell you those trends to that over, you guys. As well, the Blackhawks playing on 0 days rest, or 9-4 in the last 13 to that over. The Wild 8-3 in their last 11 to that over, because they're putting up the majority of the goals. We know that. The Wild at home 5-2 in their last 7 home games to that over. And the Blackhawks versus the Western Conference 4-1 in their last 5 to that over. So I do like that over there. And I think that's the best way to take this game tonight. Now, the next game on the board, the St. Louis Blues are taking on my desperate Calgary Flames. Calgary coming in as too big of a favorite here to bet them at -230, +198 for the St. Louis Blues. Now the Blues off that back-to-back win over Edmonton. Now this one went to shootout. It was just last night. It feels like 100 hours ago. It was just less than 24 hours ago with this one here. And they got the win. They fought back. They went down and came back and were able to get a shootout win over Edmonton. It was a 4-3 game. I think the Blues are going to be tired in this one. I want to take Calgary here in regulation, because in regulation it's -132. It's a hard one to put my money, though, on Calgary. We know how much Calgary has been struggling here, but Dan Vladar should be in goal. I trust him more than Jacob Markstrom. He's got 2.81 goals against average. Thomas Greiss expected here for the St. Louis Blues. He's got a 3.69. Now, both of these teams coming in, hitting below 3 goals per game on average right now. Calgary getting these more chances, though, averaging 34 shots on goal. The limited penalty minutes by the St. Louis Blues are really helping them out. And they're going to have to play a nice, clean game here versus Calgary if they want to stay in this one. Now, I talked about the Edmonton-Calgary back-to-back, the Battle of Alberta back-to-back. There has been teams like the Sabres who've come in and won both of those games. Normally, in a different season, it would have been a strategy for me. Well, they beat Edmonton, now Calgary will win. Or they beat Calgary, now they'll lose in Edmonton, that kind of thing. But this year, all things are not working that way with these teams traveling to these teams in Alberta. It's just we're not seeing that trend continuously work for you in a sports betting way there. I could see Calgary not winning this, and it scares me because the St. Louis Blues, they have not been scoring the goals. They've been playing strong defensively, but still allowing those goals to come in. But if they're to beat Calgary here, they're going to have to dig really deep tonight. I think Calgary is due to have a strong day. They're able to limit their opponents. Heads, like I said, are going to keep rolling in Calgary. We know Daryl Sutter is not impressed at all. So this is a hard one. I do lean on Calgary. I'm not going to bet this one. The Blues are so strong coming into Calgary. I wouldn't be shocked if the Blues came out and got the win. Either way, though, if the Blues win it or Calgary wins it, I have to take this over. This number is sitting at 6. And I do think for the team who wins this, they're going to have to play an explosive offensive game. We do have solid goaltending on the Calgary side, but Vladar is known to give up some goals in certain situations. And for the St. Louis Blues, their offense really stepped up versus Calgary. We're able to fight back. And now Lessman's seeing Markstrom. Markstrom confirmed. Perfect. This over looks even better with Markstrom in here. We know he's seen so many more struggles than Dan Vladar. So give me the over. I'm 100% more confident in it now with Markstrom in net. Now, Calgary, in the last 7 meetings with St. Louis in Calgary, these teams have gone 7-3 to that over. 3-0-1 in the last 4 meetings overall to that over. The Blues playing on 0 days rest trend nicely to that over as well with their defense, allowing more goals to come in at 18-7-2 in the last 27 games playing on that 0 days rest. And the Flames at home trending to that over, 5-2 in their last 7 games. Calgary offensively needs to blow things out of the water. I am worried about my team right now. I'm worried about them for that locker room too. Picks from Dave. No hockey for you tonight. B-Hawks beat the Green Trash Bags. Best of luck to you. All the best in basketball tonight, Dave. You guys, if you haven't followed Dave from Picks from Dave's, go give him a follow. Always putting out so much great content. Now, the New York Islanders and the Arizona Coyotes. This is a game I actually feel nice and strong about. This is where my best bet of the day is coming. Looking at the New York Islanders to come in to Arizona and dominate over the Arizona Coyotes. And now we know the Coyotes are a great team to play. Upset. They lost their last game to the Sharks on the road. That was a 3-2 loss for them. They did win this matchup back on November 10th. It was a 3-2 win for the Arizona Coyotes, completely able to limit the New York Islanders. Don't see it happening in this one. Now, the Islanders a couple weeks ago were rolling. They were getting these wins. We've seen them lose their last 2. Their last game, they battled with Boston. The game that they played was actually phenomenal, even though they did lose. They lost that in a shootout. It was a 4-3 loss to the Boston Bruins. That game really could have gone either way. But if the New York Islanders want to go deep into the season, they have to start winning these games that are easy wins. And not that any game is an easy win, but they're coming in here at -192. Even the books don't think this is an easy win for the Islanders here. It should be a line like the Wild we're seeing in their game tonight. We're not seeing that line. No one has confidence in this Islanders team at the moment, and rightly so. They just have not been looking like the team that we've hoped. Now, Sorokin expected in goal for them. He's got a 2.36 goals against average. Vamaljika, I never can pronounce his name right. Expected here for the Coyotes. He's got a 3.07. Coyotes, this team is an absolute mess. The Islanders need to come out and dominate in this one. I'm going to look at the Islanders in regulation. You're paying just slight juice there. And then I'm also going to take them on that puck line at -1.5. Let me just see if there's updated odds for the Islanders here on the puck line. You're getting +136 for them on that puck line. Now, Sorokin is confirmed in goal. His save shots on goal is only at 25.5 at -104 to that over. The problem here is the Islanders are not getting these shots on goal. So 25.5, I still think this is a little bit high. I'd be looking at that under because we know the Islanders are good. They're holding opponents to that 31.5. So it's right on the cusp of where I think this one's going to go. But I just don't see the Arizona Coyotes able to do very much in this game. Now, while they don't do very much in this game, like I said, they did win the last one. So I just got to ride with the Islanders. We also look at East road teams versus West home teams in the last 30 days on that puck line have gone 35-18, which is 66.05%. on that puck line in those last 30 days. So I think the Islanders on the puck line with that beautiful plus money. Joe's getting +140. Like I tell you guys, go shop those lines. Go use Betstamp. Use referral code Madden over there. Always get your best value, you guys. You don't want to miss out on that value at all. I think New York needs to start building up momentum. They are 5-2 in the last 7 meetings versus the Arizona Coyotes 2. And they've won their last 7 games following that overtime. So if you just take them, let me just see what the 60-minute bet is in this one. If you just take them in the 60-minute, the Islanders are coming in at minus 115-ish in that 60. If you like Arizona, if you like the Coyotes, which I do not, you could take them at plus 235, but I can't get behind the Coyotes. I think this is the Islanders' statement win to get them mentally back on track. This team needs to start winning these games. Now, I'm going to also look at the under in this one, even though I'm going to sprinkle on that puck line at minus 1.5 with that plus money. I do think we've got a lower scoring one here. I think this is a 3-1 style game for the New York Islanders. The under is hit in the last 7 meetings in Arizona. We've also seen the last 4 meetings overall hit that under for these 2 teams, the Coyotes versus the Mets. The Mets opponents have gone 6-1 in the last 7 to that under, and the Islanders versus teams with losing records have trended nicely to that under as well, going 4-1 in their last 5 versus teams with losing records. So I do think this is a great one. Take under that total. A nice 4-1, 3-1 style win here for the New York Islanders. I don't think Sorokin gets a shutout. I wish I could say that I thought he would get the shutout, but we've just seen a little bit of momentum with how the offense is playing for the Arizona Coyotes. So I like some of their puck movement we're seeing, especially when they're in their opponent's zone. They've just been playing smoothly in there in certain blinks, not all the time. There's been blinks of looking like a really, really solid hockey team. We've seen them pull off those wins. So I think they do get the 1 goal tonight. I can't see them getting any more than 1. We stay under this total. I am seeing 5.5 out there as well. So make sure, again, head on over to Betstamp, shop those lines, get the under 6, pay a little bit more juice. You don't want to get that over because you took 5.5, at least at 6 if you get the push. It's much better than losing the bet. So Islanders in regulation minus 115. Islanders sprinkle on that puck line. I'm looking at an exact score of 3-1 or 4-1. I'll probably put both of those in there because I do think the Islanders do get these goals, come out nice and strong in this one, and it hits under. Still even that under 5.5, but I'm more confident in the under 6, you guys. Those are the games for today. We're going to do a quick recap. I'm just seeing here your comments, having a look. Yeah, Matt, I'm not confident in Sorokin getting the shutout. I wouldn't be shocked if he got the shutout. If you do like it, this is a good opportunity for him to get a shutout against the Arizona Coyotes. So just like I said, there's been that glimpse of hope for Arizona in some of these games. They haven't been giving up. They've got some young talent on their team. So I don't know if the Islanders can get the shutout tonight or not. Okay, let's recap, you guys, and then build that parlay. Just let me get my notebook here. Got a million things on my desk today. The day has been a crazy busy. So let's recap this. We're going to look at the Chicago Blackhawks and the Minnesota Wild again. I am nervous about the Wild covering the 2.5 on that extended puck line. There's no value. Otherwise, you could take them here in regulation. I don't love it. I think the Blackhawks could keep this one tighter. I'd be looking at the Blackhawks plus the 2.5 before I ever looked at the Wild laying the 2.5. I think this is a tighter one than the books are expecting. The Wild just won this matchup in October 4-3. I think we've got a very similar game here. I'm going to hit that over 6. I love that it's coming in here at 6. Again, we got that trend. If you are feeling the Blackhawks tonight, the underdog coming off a loss on that puck line in the last 38 days, which is where the Blackhawks are sitting, are 68-38 on that puck line, which is 64.15%. But the Blackhawks have completely struggled in Minnesota, unable to win. They've only won 1 of the last 5 in Minnesota and unable to win 1 of the last 6. So Blackhawks do struggle against them. I think the over 6 is a great way to go in this one. I think it's the best bet in this game. you could look at the Wild's team total if that is where you feel more confident in as well. The St. Louis Blues and the Calgary Flames. You guys, I'm not confident in Calgary in regulation until my team starts proving itself with me. You know what I mean? I can't take them here. I don't blame you guys for taking them in regulation, though. At -132, I do think there is value with a tired St. Louis Blues game or St. Louis Blues team coming into this game off a really hard-fought battle with Edmonton that they ended up getting the win. So I'm going to stay off the side. I do like the over in this one as well. I think that is the best bet there in that game. And then in the last game here at 9:30 Eastern between the Islanders and the Arizona Coyotes, give me the Islanders here in regulation at -115. Give me the Islanders on that puck line, -1.5 for that beautiful plus money. I would also look at the under in this one. I think we've got a low-scoring game. So for the parlay, if I have a pen that works, I'm going to take the Islanders on the money line for the parlay. I'm going to take the over between the Blackhawks and the Wild, and the over between Calgary and the St. Louis Blues. Now, gun to my head, if I had to take the 3-team money line that I think would win it, I would take the Wild, Calgary, and the Islanders, which, you know, it's all 3 favorites. I think today's card doesn't really give much hope to the underdogs. The only the two underdogs, the Blues and the Chicago Blackhawks. That's where my struggle is, because the St. Louis Blues could pull this one off against Calgary. They're the biggest chance of pulling it off. I really don't see Arizona doing it today. So that's where I'm going with that, you guys. I think this is a great game. If you just want to do totals today, take the over in the first 2 and the under in that New York Islanders game. You could also look at the Arizona Coyotes team total under in that one. I think that team is really going to struggle tonight. And let's just look at what we're getting there for their team total. Now, the under for the Arizona Coyotes, I think this is a great way to take it, is under 2.5 at -134. I really like that bet tonight. I think this is a place where Arizona only gets that 1 goal. I'd be shocked if they come out and get 2 in this one. Let's look at Calgary's first period too. I think if we look at Calgary and the St. Louis Blues in the first period, if we're not paying too much juice, I would look at that over 1.5 in that first period. Over 1.5 for Calgary and the St. Louis Blues tonight is -136. I do like this with Markstrom in goal, with St. Louis off that back-to-back. I think we see their defense allow these to come in quick. Markstrom to let one come in quick. That is at -136. I absolutely love that one. Now that I talk about that, I wonder what both teams to score in that first period. Both teams to score is +168. Might be another way to look at this. St. Louis doesn't want to get down like they got down in that last game. So this is going to be a great one, you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me here on this beautiful Friday. So much going on today. Join me on Better Than Vegas later today. Going to be talking World Cup with the crew over there. I've got my picks, props, and predictions coming up in the next 40 minutes. Yet to announce guests. I will let you guys know. Pretty sure I got Gutsy from SoBet coming on. You guys want to check out everything that he has going on. Again, if you're looking for my premium picks, you can head on over to SoBet.io. Use referral code Joe over there, or head on over to VegasInsider.com. You can find all of my picks, records, and stats over there as well. You guys have a great day. Again, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Happy Friday. Have a great one. We'll talk.